They told Burkina Faso to wait. They said development takes time. They said insecurity is normal. They said poverty was complicated. But what they never said was this: Burkina Faso was rich, and the system was designed to hide it. In September 2022, everything changed. That was the moment Captain Ibrahim Traoré took power. He was just 34 years old, standing in front of a nation many had already given up on. Terrorist attacks were spreading. Trust in leadership was gone. Foreign forces were present, yet security was failing. Most people expected speeches. Instead, they got action. From the very beginning, Ibrahim Traoré made one thing clear. Burkina Faso would stop running on autopilot. He said the country would no longer beg while sitting on wealth. And to prove that, he went straight to the heart of the problem: gold. Burkina Faso is one of Africa's largest gold producers. Every year, tons of gold leave the country. Yet for decades, communities around the mines remained poor, forgotten, and underdeveloped. That contradiction became the first battlefield. Since taking power, Ibrahim Traoré launched a sweeping mining reform program. Existing gold contracts were reviewed. State participation in mining operations was increased. Oversight became tighter. This was not noise. This was restructuring. The message was simple but dangerous. If gold is taken from Burkina Faso's soil, Burkina Faso must benefit first. That decision alone shifted power. But Traoré understood something deeper. As long as Burkina Faso exported raw gold, it would remain dependent. So the next project was unavoidable: a national gold refinery. For the first time in Burkina Faso's modern history, plans moved forward to refine gold inside the country. Not outside, not overseas. At home. A refinery changes everything. It creates skilled jobs. It keeps value inside the economy. It gives the country control over pricing and exports. This was not a short-term project. It was a long-term declaration. Burkina Faso would no longer sell its wealth cheap. Then Ibrahim Traoré turned to something even more basic than gold: food. A country that cannot feed itself cannot be free. And since 2022, Traoré has pushed one of the most aggressive agricultural revival programs Burkina Faso has seen in years. Tractors were distributed across farming regions. Fertilizers and improved seeds were made available. Youth were encouraged to return to farming, not as punishment, but as production. This was not theory. Fields expanded, harvests increased, food imports began to reduce. But Traoré didn't stop at farming, because growing food without processing it keeps farmers poor. So the next phase began. Since taking power, the government moved to revive and establish agro-processing factories: tomato processing plants, grain mills, food storage, and packaging facilities. Instead of exporting tomatoes and importing tomato paste, Burkina Faso started processing its own crops. That single shift created jobs, stabilized prices, and kept money circulating inside the country. Quietly, an industrial base was forming. And while all this was happening, another crisis remained: security. Burkina Faso was fighting armed groups, yet it depended almost entirely on foreign weapons and ammunition. That dependence was dangerous. So Ibrahim Traoré launched local military production programs. Repair workshops were expanded. Ammunition manufacturing was prioritized. Local production of essential military equipment began, ensuring the country could defend itself without begging for help. This wasn't about war. It was about survival. At the same time, Traoré turned to manpower. A national youth mobilization and civic service program was strengthened. Young people were deployed into agriculture, infrastructure, and national support roles. Not as punishment, but as a mission: to rebuild the country from the ground up. Then came roads. Infrastructure projects began reconnecting regions that had been isolated for decades. These weren't just economic arteries. They were lifelines. They allowed trade, travel, and security forces to reach areas once abandoned. Where roads returned, the state returned. Ibrahim Traoré knew that Burkina Faso alone could only do so much, so he turned to allies. Together with Mali and Niger, he helped form the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. This was more than a handshake. It was joint military coordination, shared economic planning, and unified political stance. From that alliance came AES Television, a media project designed to tell the story of the Sahel from the Sahel itself. No outside filters, no foreign narratives, just Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger speaking directly to their people. At home, factories were humming, fields were green, roads were repairing decades of neglect, and young people were no longer idle. But there was one final and most controversial decision. Foreign troops, which had long been stationed in Burkina Faso, were asked to leave. French soldiers who were supposed to bring security had failed repeatedly. Traoré chose independence over comfort, sovereignty over safety. This decision allowed every other project to function. Gold control meant nothing if orders came from abroad. Factories meant nothing without autonomy. Security meant nothing without local power. And through it all, Ibrahim Traoré has been building quietly but steadily. Gold mining reforms ensuring state revenue and oversight. National gold refinery to process the country's wealth internally. Agricultural mechanization program putting tractors, seeds, and fertilizers into farmers' hands. Agro-processing factories turning crops into products and keeping money local. Military production programs producing weapons and ammunition domestically. National youth and civic mobilization programs rebuilding human capital. Road and infrastructure projects reconnecting isolated communities. AES Regional Alliance for Coordinated Defense and Economic Stability. AES Television to control and share the narrative of the Sahel. Exit of foreign military dependence to restore full national sovereignty. Each project builds on the last. None of it is accidental. It is a system of change, engineered for the long term. And while some may criticize the methods, the results are clear. Burkina Faso is no longer waiting. It is building. It is reclaiming. It is rewriting its story. For every road that is repaired, every factory that opens, every gold bar refined locally, every young person mobilized, the message is the same. The future belongs to Burkina Faso, and no one will take it away. Ibrahim Traoré is still young. The projects are ongoing. The risks are high. But for the first time in decades, the country is moving on its own terms. The change is subtle, but it is powerful. A gold refinery may seem technical, but it is a symbol of independence. A tomato factory may seem small, but it feeds millions. A repaired road may seem ordinary, but it reconnects hope. Each project Ibrahim Traoré initiated since 2022 is a statement. Burkina Faso will no longer be content with crumbs. It will take its wealth. It will defend its people. It will tell its own story. And in this transformation, you can see the strategy. Gold is controlled. Food is grown. Factories are producing. Weapons are being made at home. Youth are mobilized. Roads bring the state back to the forgotten corners. Allies are coordinating regionally. Media tells the truth. Foreign influence is minimized. This is not magic. It is planning. It is courage. It is patience and persistence. Ibrahim Traoré came to power at a young age. But the projects he has launched are bigger than any one person. They are bigger than any government. They are about the country itself. And while the road ahead is still uncertain, the foundation is being laid. Burkina Faso is waking up. It is taking its destiny into its own hands. It is refusing to wait. And this is only the beginning. Because projects like these, gold, agriculture, industry, defense, youth, roads, alliances, media, independence, are not completed in months. They take years. They take persistence. They take people willing to stand and build while others doubt. Ibrahim Traoré's legacy is being written now. And for anyone watching, the lesson is clear. A country can rise even when the world says it cannot. A leader can act even when critics say it is impossible. And a nation can reclaim itself even from the ashes of neglect. Since September 2022, Burkina Faso has been moving, building, and proving that action, not words, defines history. And as the country continues to rise, one thing becomes undeniable. The story of Burkina Faso is no longer silent. It is loud, it is visible, it is real. And Captain Ibrahim Traoré is at the center, turning vision into concrete, projects into progress, and hope into reality.